Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday as we reflect on the anniversary of 9/11. Today, the nation remembers the terror attacks that happened 12 years ago, the date imprinted on all our minds, as most Americans can tell you exactly where they were when it happened.
The operations chief for the Clearwater Fire Department is closer to this tragedy than most. He was the first responder to the attacks at the Pentagon that day in 2001. Our Rob Munoz spoke with him and joins us now live from Clearwater with more. Good afternoon, Rob.
Well, Assistant Fire Chief Kent Watts can't exactly forget what happened that day at the Pentagon. It's still with him every single day, and the men and women of the Clearwater Fire Department also took a moment of silence to reflect and remember. Lives lost 12 years ago today are remembered the same way the call went out over emergency radios. 9:59 a.m., the exact time the South Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City collapsed.
On September 11, 2001, 343 firefighters perished, and the nation suffered a tragic loss of life from a terrorist attack.
These firefighters in Clearwater pay their respects every year, but for one officer, he can't quite shake where he was a dozen years ago.
I think everybody that was there goes back there every now and then.
Assistant Chief Kent Watts led a recovery mission of nearly 100 firefighters at the Pentagon. His helmet still bears the scars of his mission.
We're constantly coming over to, finding bodies and stuff like that.
Did you guys pull anyone out?
No.
184 people in all were in the rubble. Kent says he's since gotten together with some of the men he served with, but they don't talk about it much. Instead, how he feels today echoes what most Americans still feel a dozen years later.
Those things are in the past. I don't want to ever forget it, but I don't want my life to revolve around that.
Now, firefighters were not the only ones to stop by and pay their respects. Members of the public stopped by and also had that moment of silence and shared in that solemn memory. In Clearwater, I'm Rob Munoz, ABC Action News.